Peace, family. Peace, peace, peace. I'm here with Mr. E. I gotta get one of those things, man, so I can make the noise, man. Yeah. That's what's up. That's what's up. Thank you so much for your time, brother. Why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us where you live in, what you're doing with yourself these days, and creating and all that good stuff.
Yeah, my pleasure. Well, first off, thank you for having me.
Of
Um,
course.
my name is Eric Scott Chandroff, aka Mr. E. In the classroom, it's Mr. E. To those who don't know me, I'm a Myster-E. But hopefully, by the end of this interview, you will know my story, and it will no longer be a
Mm,
mystery. But yes, so I wear many hats. Today, I happen to be rocking this New York Knicks hat because
that's
it's
what's
game
up.
one of the finals. So that's the hat I'm wearing
Mm.
today. But yeah, I'm an English language arts high school teacher. I'm a spoken word poet, hip hop artist, and MC. U.S. hip hop cultural ambassador, and newly actually an author and curator. Yeah, I'm in the process of publishing this book in less than 2 weeks, which is a
Oh,
compilation of also some of my students' work as well as my own. So yeah, I'm an artist and a wordsmith and a poet and an educator and a human and grateful to be here.
that's what's
I live
up,
in New
man.
Jersey, Central Jersey,
From Joyzy, from Joyzy. All right,
Joyce.
that's what's that's beautiful, man. The creative process and the expression, like I can't say enough about that. I've studied some people speaking on these things. What's it? Rick Rubin speaks
Mm,
about the creativity, and the other woman too. I forgot her name. She was the one who made the book called Eat, Pray, Love, which
mm,
was like a huge. It made the movie like huge,
mm,
and I remember in her book, it's called Big Magic. She said, I always get that question: how do you write a best-selling book? And she's like, I couldn't tell you.
mm.
She's like,
Right,
you just do it. It flows through you, and just go put it out. Don't worry about people gonna like it or not, and don't worry because not
right.
everybody's gonna like it. There's a fact, and you
Mhm,
just let whatever that creativity, spirit, that energy, whatever God, whatever name or box you want to put on, just
mhm.
allow it. How about for yourself when you're creating
Absolutely.
something? What do you turn to? What do you tap into? What do you feel? What comes to you?
Yeah, no, great question. There's been times in my life where the process looked different. There's been times where I was very intentional in creating a time and place for me to be creative or to have an intention in mind for something I was looking to create. Of course, the musical process and the visual process can sometimes be different. If I'm making music, that's one of two things. One is me listening through beats and feeling inspired by the music, and sometimes the lyrics will emerge from there or the flows. Other times it's just lyrics or poetry by itself, which will emerge, which can be inspired by life experiences, on thoughts or things that I'm witnessing, or wordplay, which it might just start with a line, and then from there it emerges into a few lines, and then a stanza, and then a verse, and then before you know it, a whole song, and then you pair it with
Mhm.
the music, and now you have a song. In terms of visual art, which I don't practice as much as I used to in the past, but that can sometimes, even knowing what you want to create from a vision that you have within, or that you've been given from source or from God, whatever you'd like to say. And other times it could just be kind of like doodling and freestyle. There's freestyle in rapping and in music, but also in the visual arts as well too. So I think sometimes just kind of letting go and letting that creativity just kind of guide you, and then trusting that process once you have that beginning kind of going from there. I think some of my best work has been done when I wasn't trying to force it too hard. I just had an idea, and I kind of ran with it, and then continued adding and adding and adding to it, and kind of
Mm.
like a sculpture, just kind of shaping it along the way until you get it to a place where you feel like you can say
Mm.
that's ready to be released to the public. I'm ready to
Right.
share this with the world.
Yeah, myself too. Whenever I'm creating, also, it's always that like, is it ready
Yeah, of
now? Like, no,
course.
I just keep going. Like, no, there's got to
Right.
be a point where you go like, okay, let it go. You
Yeah.
see, because then that's not really the end either. Anything could come from that too. It could come back to you, and you could shape it some more, or build on top of it, make it even
Right.
bigger. Than yeah,
Right, having remixes, right? Sometimes people release a
right.
song and then they come back
Yup.
some years later and they change aspects of it and you do a part
Mm-hmm.
2 or, for a
Mm-hmm.
book or for an artwork, you have a 2 or a volume 2 or even
Mm-hmm.
movies, they do a part 2.
Mm-hmm.
So, but at some point you have to say, "Okay, this version is ready and I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to let it be and
Mm-hmm.
maybe we'll do a part 2 for it, but for this version it has,
Mm-hmm.
it's okay to let go." And
Right.
as artists sometimes we could be perfectionists, so that could be a challenge, but it's one thing that I've learned is we have to be okay with saying this is complete.
Yeah, yep, it's beautiful. It makes me think of Rick Rubin talks about when you get a good idea, and many masters have spoken about that. Like
Mhm.
when you get an idea, it's because it came to you. Right?
Right.
Some people be like, "Oh, that's a good one." Oh, but that's not me. I can't do that. You don't know that. It would not have come to you if
Mhm.
you would not have come to you.
It's
You're like,
very
"Oh,
true.
but I don't got the connections." Don't worry about that. Just do it. Just do it.
Right.
Just put it out there. I don't got the money. Just do it. All that shows up.
Indeed, and I think it's
Mhm.
uniquely, I think the visions, the gifts, the creativity, the art that is the ideas that we get
Mhm.
is based on our experiences and the things that we're exposed to. So
Mhm.
it's still kind of uniquely yours, and only you are able to create the art
Mm,
that you share into the world because only you have that unique perspective or experience or skill set to speak
mhm.
on such a thing. So, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I
it
do
makes
believe
me
in that.
think of what many have said too, that when an idea comes to you, it comes to you for a reason and for you to be in that, right? But if you don't move on it, it'll just go to someone else. That's it.
Very
That's
true.
it. That's how the
They s
universe is not, yeah. Go ahead.
hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard,
That's right.
So
That's
having the
right.
talent itself is not gonna do anything if you're not
Nope.
actually
Mhm.
applying it and,
Mhm.
giving that devotion towards the work.
That's right. Hard work, it supersedes talent.
That's
If
right.
you can have talent, you don't show up, you don't do it, then it's nothing.
Right, and
You
oftentimes when, after doing a show, if I'm being congratulated or people are really enjoying the work, and sometimes people will say, "Oh, you're so talented," and
Mhm.
sometimes I'll stop and I say, "I prefer to say I'm skilled," because there's a difference. The
Mm.
difference I believe between talent is it's God given, and you have the
Mhm.
ability to share it. But skill is when you work hard at something. You have talent, and now you've continued working on that into a skill. And
Right.
I just like to sometimes make that differentiation because right now I'm rocking the Knicks hat. You have a guy like Jalen Brunson, right, who is not 7 foot. He's a smaller guard, but he's worked on his game so much to become a skill. So that's why I aim to be more skilled than talented because there's many talented people that are not successful and sitting on the sidelines. So
Yeah.
I think not only talent is important, but hard work and skill is even that much more important.
Yeah, I had also learned that people who, like you said, who are naturally talented, we're talking about like savant, naturally, like there's no mistake. They said that there's less than 1% of the population, bro. That's
Mhm,
how little those people exist. The
mhm,
rest, we're making it up as we go along, man. It's
mhm.
like no matter who you like, it's like, oh, he's a great basketball player. Yeah, yeah, he worked hard on that.
Right. And
You know,
even artists, you could reach higher levels than some folks who are just immensely talented, but if they're not putting in that work ethic
hmm
and they're sitting and being lazy and watching TV, that talent is going to it's not going to reach anyone, it's not going to get anywhere. So you don't have to even initially be this mastermind genius at the very beginning. You just have to have a little bit of confidence and freedom and trust
yeah,
yourself in that creativity and give a little bit of work because as you keep doing that, you will eventually surpass those talented people that are not putting in the hard work. And I
Yeah,
think the more you work at it, the more talented you will find yourself becoming.
yes, I usually tell brothers, like, when we go, "Oh, this guy is doing that," and I say, Yeah, you know how that guy did it? You know how he did it? He just did it.
Hmm.
That's it. He's just doing. That's it. That's what
Right.
separates us from him. He's no
Mm.
better than us. He's not. That's
Right.
a misconception.
Consistency.
Your consistency. That's it. Get up.
Hmm.
Let's do it. We do the
Right.
men's work, and these are one of the things that we teach them when we go away. I unplug men from the matrix, and we go back to our natural setting, which is in
I love that.
wilderness. We go
I love
hiking,
that.
and we do. Yeah, you haven't come, but I know you're gonna
In due
come
time,
through. I
I
know it. I
definitely would
know. I
love
know
to
you
join
do.
you,
I
brother.
know. It's beautiful. We
Yes.
go hiking and we make foods together, and there's all kind of conversations, and we
Amazing.
receive the counsel of other men, right? We've seemed to
Right.
have lost that in our society, because we
Mm.
used to have that, where the women were the gatherers, right? They gathered the
Mhm.
seeds and the beads and the
Right.
clothing making, where we were
Yeah.
the hunters. We were the ones who went
Tribes.
out.
Yeah.
Exactly. We
And
went
we
out
would
and we
hunt
hunted.
together in
But this is
tribes.
the
Yeah.
thing. It's when you are hunting something, something's hunting you too, right?
Mm.
So you can't speak. It was always, see, that's why men are like,
Mm.
see, and then you went out and you got the meat and you brought it back. And then when you got back to the village, we sat around the fire. And then as
Mhm.
men, we received the counsel of other men, elder,
Mm.
more experienced, the wisdom,
Yes.
the doctor or whatever. See, and we lost that.
Mm.
We lost it.
Yeah.
We were like, nah, I'm good, man. I don't need nobody tell me nothing. You
Yeah.
wrong, bro. You wrong.
Absolutely, man. I mean, it's funny you mentioned that being out in the wild. I mean, I love that kind of stuff as well too. But just literally the period before, right now, I'm on my prep period at my job, my high school job, and I was watching the movie The Hatchet with them. I'm not sure if you remember it. It was a
Mm,
book and it was a movie. But this
mm,
guy, he gets lost in the wilderness by himself. A plane crashes, and he's by
mhm,
himself in the wilderness, having to become like a survivalist.
mm,
And I'm just thinking as you're saying that, I mean, it was very difficult for this character in the movie to be a survivalist by himself,
mm,
whereas if you have a tribe of, men together, you're able
mhm,
to kind of split out and you are able to also,
mhm,
give different assignments to get different things done. So, that
mhm,
can be compared to even as a creative, as an artist, for our own mental health. Yes, we need a tribe, we need a community, those that we could speak to. Even as a creative, you can't do everything by yourself. As much as you want
mhm,
to try, you need to be able to hand off different
mhm.
assignments. As they say, it takes teamwork to make the dream work. And
That's right. That's
it,
right.
it's a cliche phrase, but it's absolutely true. And
Mhm,
you learn that upon the journey as you continue going. That we need others. We're reliant on each other, and that's why we're hardwired for social belonging and all of that stuff, and the way we
mm,
communicate. I mean, it's all
mhm.
intuitive.
Yeah,
Um,
we are. We're pack animals for sure.
yeah.
We're animals. Some people are like, oh, we're not animals. Yes, we are. We're just animals, like with jewelry on, like with fancy,
Well,
But
yeah.
we're
I
we're
mean, yeah, I believe that we're that we're half animal, and then
mm,
that we're half animal, and then half like almost like angelic, like
yeah. Oh,
Anunnaki.
right. Yep.
These
I'm with
angelic,
you. I'm with.
godly beings, and then half animal. So
Right.
in different
Mm,
spiritual and even religious traditions, they'll
right.
sometimes say our aim is to try to conquer our animal self.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
not conquer it, but we're always aiming, battling our higher self and our lower self. And the animal within us is just based off of that urge and that wanting all the animalistic
Mm,
things. But that higher
yes.
self is what we try to be able to control and develop discipline and
Mhm,
all these different things so that we can
mhm,
try to reach our highest self, because our animal self
mhm.
just wants to eat and
Right. And
you know
kill and sex
kill
and yeah.
and sex
Right.
and
Yeah.
all of
Or
those
and
things.
sit
So
around all day. Yeah. I know.
right,
Right.
right. So I think we're constantly in this push and pull between our higher self
Definitely.
and our animal self, but
Many scriptures
acknowledging
speak
both.
about that. Many glyphs, on the temples, ancient,
Mhm.
always
Yeah.
speak of that. And in many images, they always see
Oh,
them
yeah.
like stepping on the thing, but
Yes.
they show you like that's your lower self. That's what it
Yeah.
is. It's trying to tell you you need to rise above that. And that's what the men's gatherings and the men's training. I don't like to call it a retreat. It's not a retreat. It's a training.
Mm,
You know,
mm,
to show men, there's certain pillars that you should embrace. Like there's a higher power. You should
mm,
recognize there's something, what out of whatever it is, you should do that. Then you
mm,
should also know thyself, right? That's
mhm.
the second pillar, right? You should
Right.
know what makes you tick. Why do you do that? Look at
Absolutely.
those habits. Like you need to pay attention to that.
Mm,
Then the next one is your relationships. How do you
mhm.
treat your mom or your dad or your children or your wife or your girl or your money or your
Right.
job or your career? These are all relationships. We need to
Absolutely.
get a handle on these things, and respect. And there's other things too. I don't want to give too much away.
I love it, man. One
It's
of
a
these days we're gonna
proprietary blend, right?
Yeah. No, but it's all interconnected, man. It truly is. I recognize that,
Mm,
and
mm, mm. It is. It
real.
is. So
Mm,
it just so happens that in the Purple Sage Festival, that is one of our main goals, bro, is
mhm,
to have people come together and remember. That's what we're doing. Just
mhm.
remember who you are.
Amen.
We
Amen.
we are in wilderness, in nature, with earth.
Yeah.
It's sacred ground. We're there, man.
Right. No, it's well said. And you're talking earlier about being amongst community and tribe and other men. And sometimes we need to be around others to remind ourselves who we are, because
Mhm.
that's also how our personalities and identity sometimes emerges, is amongst our communication and relationships with others, is how we kind of form ourselves and see our strengths and weaknesses and speak. Right now you and I are having this conversation, and through this, we're able to say aloud things that have just been ruminating silently within us, and requires that other person to bring these things about.
Mhm.
Otherwise, we can just be kind of trapped in our mind at all times,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
speaking to ourselves, and that's how
Mm.
sometimes
Yeah.
people go crazy. That's why literally a punishment in prisons and in jails is solitary confinement, because
Right.
they're
Yeah.
aware of to
Mhm.
seclude somebody by
Yeah.
themselves, start to go crazy. We're meant to be amongst others, in community, in
Right. I
yeah.
had a relative, an uncle, and he was what you would call a career convict, right? And
Mm,
he told me that the real punishment really is being away from other people. He said
mm,
the rest you could deal with all the other stuff.
mhm.
You could do that. You could do all that, but the being away from other people, especially in solitary confinement, bro, that's really the
Right.
punishment.
But there's a time for it as well, too, right? Like there's a
Mm,
time for it. Sometimes you're socializing so much and you're like, okay, I need to step away and recharge, right?
mhm.
So it's that kind of,
Mhm.
that push and
Mhm.
pull, that dance.
Mm.
So we can recharge, be with ourselves, and then
Mm.
once we are well, then we could step back out and be amongst others. Because if we're not well, then it's hard for us to help contribute to the greater community if we haven't also taken the time to ourselves. So
That's
I
right.
think it's
That's
really,
right.
that's a relationship even in of itself, is the time with self and then the
Mhm.
time back with others.
I know me and you could talk all day, but
Really.
you hit it right there on the nail, bro. And that's why we have the Purple Sage Festival. Now, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but you came to the Purple Sage. Tell us, man, what is it that you're providing? How's the vibe? Or I don't know. Just go ahead, put it out
Yeah.
there.
No, the vibes are magnificent. Nah, it's a great time, man. The best way to describe it, one word, I would say wholesome. It's a very wholesome event and
Mm,
festival. The first time I came, there was a lot of really cool different vendors, all different types of like holistic medicines and foods and all that different types of stuff. So I'm sure there's going to be, again, amazing vendors,
more.
more on a larger scale. There's going to be amazing musicians and artists and poets, and all of your musical and artistic, entertainment will be there. You're also amongst community. There's children, there's dancing. There's really a sense of community. And, I'll be there as well. I'll be, doing a performance, a set, a mixture of hip hop, conscious, hip hop, as well as rap and poetry and spoken word. I'm going to have some of my books on me as well, which I look forward to, sharing with the community. Um, and just overall, there's going to be various types of creatives all there, as well as vendors, everyone with a service that can help one another, whatever your passion, skill, or talent is. There's various different people from the community giving services to help one another, to uplift.
Mhm. Mhm.
So,
Thank
I mean,
you.
if you
Thank
haven't
you.
made it yet, I don't know what you're waiting for. Jul June
Appreciate
13th,
it.
we're 10 days away, and I'm
Yep.
very excited. I
Mhm.
had such a great time. Also, at the end of the night, we had a bonfire. We had
Mhm.
some, let's just say we really tapped in with,
We
Mother Earth,
did.
we
Mother
could
Earth.
say.
Ah,
We'll
yeah,
leave
we
it
could
right
say
there,
that. We could say that.
we could say that, and, really just
W
wholesome, really tapping in with self. I know I had my shoes and socks off, and I was, really,
Yep.
I
Mhm.
had my feet in the grass, and that was,
Yep. Yep.
healing. So you're just
Mhm.
amongst great people, and everyone is
Yeah.
there to just kind of, take a
Mhm.
day to pour into self and pour into others.
All right. There you have it, family. June 13th at the Stone Mountain Farm in New Paltz, New York. Kids are free. There's an option to sleep over. We have two food vendors. I know one of them is your wife, if with due respect and all that. It's 'cause she's bringing the Latin flair and all that. And we have another vegan chef too with different options, and there's gonna be pastries and all kind of good stuff, man. All good, healthy, conscious stuff. Yeah.
Amen.
Okay. So thank you so much for your time, brother. I appreciate you. All
Thank you.
right.
Looking
Yes, of
forward
course.
to it.
Me too. Stay right there. Don't move. For those of you that tapped in, thank you so much. See you June 13th.